Is your circuit not working? Does the switch work? Put a meter on it. The multimeter is your first defense when troubleshooting a system. So how to use a multimeter? The first step is to acquaint yourself with the multimeter's parts and functions. This tutorial will show you how.
Parts of an analog multimeter.
Here's our work plan for this meeting.
Today's objectives. Define multimeter. Identify the parts of an analog multimeter. Learn the proper use of the multimeter.
Controlling questions. What is a multimeter? What are the parts of an analog multimeter? How to use the multimeter? What is a multimeter? Multimeter is an instrument that can measure voltage, current, and resistance.
It is an important tool in troubleshooting faulty circuits, and in finding defective electronic components.
So what are the parts of multimeter? Quick note, there are different types of analog multimeter through the manufacturer. The unit I've used in this presentation is the Sanwa YX360TRF. So here are the basic parts of this type of multimeter.
Pointer indicates the measured value on the meter. It's connected to a moving coil that requires extra care to avoid damage from the meter. Range selector knob. This allows the user to set the multimeter to read different things such as milliamps of current, voltage and resistance. Needle corrector. This is an adjustment, designed to place the pointer at zero label, before measuring the DC, or AC voltage to obtain accurate reading. Meter scale. This is the part, where the quantity of measured value can be obtained. Zero ohm adjustment. This is used to calibrate ranges to be used in ohm meter, to obtain accurate reading.
Test probe. A test probe, or test lead, is an instrument used to connect a multimeter to a device under test. Test probes are flexible insulated wires. They can establish an electrical connection between a multimeter and the device under test, without exposing electrical workers to live conductive parts. Ohm range. This range is used when doing resistance test. It is where the actual resistance reading is being multiplied. ACV range. This range is used when doing AC voltage test. It ranges from 10 volts AC, 50 volts AC, 250 volts AC and 1000 volts AC.
DCV range. This range is used when doing direct current voltage test. DCA range. This range is used to measure small amount of current DC in ampere.
So those are the basic parts and functions of an analog multimeter. Now, let's do the wrap-up. A multimeter or a multitester, also known as a VOM, volt-ohm-milliammeter, is an electronic measuring instrument that combines several measurement functions in one unit. A typical multimeter can measure voltage, current, and resistance. Knowing the parts and their function is an important matter to take before performing any test.
Quiz. Identify the following parts of multimeter.